Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Interesting to see what they play next. Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters,
to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again, radiating love as always, and projecting my voice because the music is a little loud, but that's okay. It won't be loud the whole time. But anyways, how are y'all doing? It's good to be back. Vacation was awesome. I'm sure I'll talk about that. Cheers. Yo, how's everyone's day going so far? I'm hoping to get a lot of interaction in this video because we're just hanging out. We'll probably talk astrology. I have cards with me, so I may draw a card or two, whatever. But this is just meant to be just a hangout session. Welcome Spells Inc. Welcome Milana. What's up, BD Infinity? How are you doing? Thank you so much. I'm gonna be finishing up your reading soon, actually. But welcome everyone. We're just gonna be hanging out, listening to good music. Y'all have like any random questions for me? Y'all can ask questions, whatever like that. But let's not get too deep into the personal questions as far as like personal astrology questions. We can talk a little bit about it, but let's not get too deep into it because that's not what this video is meant for. It's a good song. All right. I'm going to remember that. Can you see it? My Radiate Love shirt? I think you can see it, yeah. I think you guys see my Radiate Love shirt. Yeah, you can see it. Let me make sure. I'm adjusting things on my end. I guess I had the video paused, but I also have it muted too, so. Hi, is this the yoga appointment I booked? Right? I'm doing very well, Milana. Thank you so much. Today was kind of an interesting day as far as like earlier in the day, I was like in one of my like philosophical, like kind of like mopey moods. Not that I was in a bad mood. It was just like I say, philosophically mopey. Just kind of like thinking about different things, ideologies, and overall, of course, you know, my direction and where things are heading. And it was just sort of one of those like, it's kind of one of those like, you know, Nietzsche moments or Sigmund Freud moments where it's like, I was kind of brooding a little bit for a moment. But, you know, it's all good. Hopefully we can get some more people coming in. See, we have people joining us and stuff. This should be very fun. And hopefully we can do more videos like this, seeing as my overall schedule is probably going to be changing quite drastically in the next couple of weeks or so. I hope you all can hear me over the music. I can turn it down just a tad bit more if I need to. Have it on in the background. Thank you so much, Milana. The plan actually is to I custom made this shirt actually. The plan was to do like some sort of crap. I can't even think of the word. It's so bad. Essentially, the plan was to sell more of these shirts, but then like make sure that either all the proceeds or like a good portion of the money that I make from selling the T-shirts will go towards some type of benefit or some type of charity. I'm not really sure what yet, but that was the plan. So, but yeah, I got the shirt. It wasn't even supposed to come until after I got back from vacation. That's what they said. It came before we even went. So I got to take it with me on vacation. So that was awesome. But yeah, that's the plan actually, to do, to sell more of the shirts and to use some of that money to go towards a charity or some type of benefit or just to give back, really, because that's really what this is about. It's about radiating love. It's not necessarily. It's not about, making money, whatever. It's about radiating love and giving back. So, have you noticed Saturn sneaking up on you? He's going backwards to confuse us. Yeah, Saturn's been Saturn and Pluto lately. I've been kind of like no joke. Like even though they're retrograde right now, which means they're kind of on break right now and stuff like that. But it's like, it's weird. It's like Saturn left us an instruction manual, and it's like he's not, or she's not rather, guiding us through it anymore. Like going step by step. We're having to like figure things out on our own. And Pluto is just sort of like, I don't know why you're asking me for help. Pluto's just sitting back in the cut, just like filing it. Well, technically, I guess Scorpio's a feminine energy, but Pluto's just sitting back filing his nails, whatever, like that. Just filing her nails, girl or guy, whatever. But we like to place genders on things. But yeah, Pluto's just chilling back, filing its nails, just like, oh, okay, and yeah, that's kind of funny. And like Saturn, like, now Saturn's on retrograde. It's kind of interesting because, of course, we also have Jupiter retrograde. So I'm getting like this whole scene of like Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. Now that they're all retrograde, I'm getting like this scene of them like, I got the scene of like, Jupiter went off and got the vacation home first, and then Pluto and Saturn joined, and then like pretty much as soon as Saturn got to the house, Jupiter already had a drink for Saturn waiting, and Saturn like downed that thing in just one quick gulp, and Pluto Pluto probably arrived onto the scene already like super high as shit, and they're just like kicking at the beach right now, or then maybe in a hot tub in the mountains, whatever like that. I'm just making up a funny story, right? But I'm just getting like this whole thing. It's like if we call up Saturn at any given moment right now, Saturn is like subject to be drunk or high or just in a I don't give a fuck kind of mood. Honestly, I don't dislike Saturn retrograde. I actually don't dislike retrogrades anyways, because retrogrades are this period of time where we are allowed a review period, retrograde review. They both start with the R. So I think of whenever planets go retrograde, it's a review period. So it's like, and then when they go back forward, that's when we're taking the test, because it already hit those degrees. So we're reviewing the course material right now, and it's like, then we're going to like take the test. But what's funny is that like, before you take the big test, usually at the end of the school year, you have the dances, you have the spring breaks, and you have all of these different things that happen. So it's like you're having to study, but also having to chill at the same time. And then you got all these other things that are going on, preparing for graduation, preparing for proms and homecomings, blah, 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 blah. Homecoming's in the fall, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm still seeing kids Like I saw some kids earlier today that were dressed up for prom, and I'm like, yo, it's May 11th. Is prom still going on? Like it seems very late. I don't know how it is in other states, but usually the last day of classes are like the third week of May. You know, like because I'm pretty sure I graduated on like the 21st or the 22nd of May, something like that. And for there to be a prom on the 11th just seems kind of weird. Uh, yeah. But yeah, it's Saturn and Pluto. You're right, Be the Infinity. Oh, Saturn and Pluto, and they're in Capricorn too. So it's like their vacation right now. You got to understand, it's not like Aries, which if it was like Aries or like Gemini, if they're retrograded in those signs, they would be like in a hostel in the middle of the jungle somewhere in like Central America or Asia. They're retrograde in Capricorn. So this means that they are on like the 20th level, like highest level suite of a 5-star hotel on the beach. Like that's where they're taking their vacation right now. So if we bother them too much while they're on vacation, they're gonna be like, yo, you do realize that like you are like holding me back from having these strawberries fed to me. You're holding me back from getting this foot massage that I woke up to because that's how nice this fucking hotel is. That's where Pluto and Saturn are right now. So it's like, if we try to bring them our bullshit, too much of our bullshit, because we're undoubtedly will bring them some bullshit. But if we try to bring them too much of our bullshit while they're in retrograde in Capricorn, oh my gosh, like it's going down. It's going down. They are in a 5-star hotel on the 20th floor near the beach or something like that, or in the mountains, wherever they prefer. I guess mountains would make sense because it's Capricorn. Mountains near the ocean. Let's just say that. But anyways, how is everyone doing? How was your week? How are you doing with these retrogrades? I've kind of looked at the chart today, but not really. I know the moon's in Leo. I made a video about that. Y'all can check that out on my channel. Actually, interesting enough, as we speak, we're going through the first quarter square because the moon is actually at 20 degrees of Leo and the sun is at 20 degrees of Taurus. But probably during this broadcast, the sun will shift to 21 degrees. But the moon probably also will too shift to 21 degrees. So we actually are going through the first quarter square of the moon to the sun. The moon's going to trine Jupiter today, going into tomorrow. It's going to trine over to Venus, so we're going to get that nice grand fire trine, which is already beginning to activate. The moon right now is going to quincunx Saturn and Pluto too. So that's the other thing about this energy. It's like if we try to bring, especially this weekend, Friday, Saturday, going into Sunday, whatever like that. If we try to bring Saturn and Pluto too much of our bullshit with this quincunx, and they're, like I said, they're in retrograde and they're in review, they're pretty much asking us to have the courage and bravery to go for it, to stand up for ourselves, to do what we can, and to, not necessarily get too caught up in sweeping emotions. Not that we don't want to feel our emotions and not process them, but also just having the courage and the tenacity to just be creative and to kind of just create that firepower on our own. This is fixed fire we have going on. So this is already a weekend where a lot of people probably partied a good bit last night, Friday, going into today, probably today as well. And then we're going into Mother's Day too. And for most of Mother's Day, it looks like we're going to have, let's see, we'll have the moon in Leo for at least a good part of the morning. Yeah. And then going into Virgo later in the evening. So for a lot of religious folks that have like the Mother's Day services, the moon's going to be at these final degrees of Leo, which is kind of interesting actually when you think about it. But I would have to assume that there's going to be some type of message when it comes to expressing that Leo-like energy. Really radiating love for love's sake alone. That's really what Leo does. Leo radiates love for love's sake alone. And I think it's gonna be a very powerful Mother's Day. Actually, I'm not gonna get a chance to spend time with my mother. I did get a chance to spend time with her today, fortunately. So I'm very grateful for that. I got to see my mom and my niece, and then of course my fiance was with us. So that was really fun. My niece is 2 years old. She actually just had her second birthday because she's a Taurus, an early degree Taurus. I think it's like her birthday was what it was. Her birthday was April 27th or 28th, something like that. So I want to say she's like 8 or 7 degrees Taurus sun, and I want to say she's a Gemini rising as well. So yeah, her attention's like bam, bam, bam. Look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at this. It was really fun. I was really excited that I got to spend time with them. When we first got together to eat, my niece she was tired and she was still like waking up. She was still booting up. She's Taurus sun, so sometimes it takes Taurus a little bit longer to like boot up and wake up. So, but when she woke up, she was. I mean, if you have nieces or if you have kids or if you ever played with young kids who are like 2, 3, 4 years old, it's like, it's a workout. So I definitely got my workout for today. But yeah, I do think it's going to be an amazing Mother's Day. So first off, just I haven't looked at the comments too much in the past few minutes, but shout out to all of the beautiful mothers out there. Shout out to all the beautiful mothers that may be watching this broadcast, that may watch this broadcast, or that won't watch this broadcast. Shout out to all of the amazing mothers. Truthfully, we can't really just observe it on one day. It should be observed really, if you really want to get into it, it should be observed every Monday, because Monday, Lunas, is the day of the moon, which is Cancer energy, which is the mother. And we should also probably recognize it on, let's see, what day is for Thursday? Thursday is Friday, so there you go. But, it's interesting, the beginning of the work week and the end of the work week. That's awesome. So shout out to all of the beautiful, amazing mothers out there. This world wouldn't even be here without you. It really wouldn't. So just wishing you all the best, wishing you blessings, radiating love in your direction. If you happen to be watching this and you are a mother, thank you so much for what you do. I have a South Node in Cancer, so it's like I have played that role a lot in past lives, being a mother and also just kind of being that like that home figure. So I definitely get it. I understand. And even me, I think I mentioned this on my channel before, but Mother's Day is pretty it's kind of an interesting time for me, because there was one year in middle school, I think it was going into my 8th grade year, where the day before Mother's Day, our house got struck by lightning. And that was just like probably one of the most traumatic experiences I've gone through. I'm honestly probably still processing it. I've healed, but I'm still processing it, because it just seems so bizarre and so random to be kind of picked out like that. Honestly, it was a miracle, just the whole ordeal. But it happened the day before Mother's Day. And it was like, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like, everything just seemed calm and chill. It was what I would describe as the calm before the storm, and it literally was, because the first part of the day, there wasn't a cloud in the sky, and then suddenly, the evening came, my parents had to go to work, and it was just me and my siblings at home and our dog, and suddenly it just started raining. I didn't really think much of it, and lightning struck our house. The house was saved. I'm giving you guys like the shortened version of it, but that day was a miracle. Multiple miracles happened that day. It was crazy. But definitely gave me a deeper appreciation for life, because you never know when things are just going to flip on a dime for you. So Shout out to all the beautiful mothers out there. Shout out to all of the mothers to be as well. And thank you so much for all that you do. And we honestly don't appreciate you enough. I kind of feel weird saying this, but I do want to say this is like I've noticed that you know, something that my mom has been saying to me lately whenever we're talking on the phone, whatever like that, and I'll say I love you, mom, and she'll say I love you more. And it's like at first when she said that, I was kind of like initially I was like, huh, it's kind of interesting, but I'm like that's honestly probably true. Like it's like I say I love you, and then my mom's like I love you more. I was like, you know what? I actually believe that like wholeheartedly that you love me more. And I don't. And part of me kind of feels weird about it and bad because it's like I feel like it should be equal, but at least in this incarnation, I won't ever know what it's like to carry a child. So you know, there's that whole connection that you have to your mom. You know, so. Um, Damn, this got serious real quick, huh? But let's hop into the comments. What's everyone talking about and stuff? Oh my gosh, go away, you stupid little things coming up on the side of my It's gonna come up again, isn't it? This weird little pop-up has been coming up. You don't need to go to the gym with the kid. Ain't that the freaking truth? Dude, I've been really enjoying this Taurus sun. I really have been. I feel like it was the perfect time to go on a vacation. It was a Taurus sun. I think while we were there, the moon was, well, because I made videos, right? So it started with Gemini, and then it went to Cancer, and then, of course, we have Leo today, but we came back yesterday. The moon wasn't Leo yesterday, so yeah. But what's happening with you guys? How's your day going? What's new? What's cracking? You know, what's happening with you all? Oh man, I wish I had a fan in this room, and I don't. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, that would be really cool, actually. If I read from my poetry book, I should go to a random page and I should read a poem from my poetry book. I think I'll do that. So how about this? Somebody pick a number between, let's see, what number? Someone pick a number from 7 to 48, and I will read the poem based off of that on that page. So 7 to 48. Somebody pick a number, and we'll read a couple. That'd be kind of cool. We'll read a couple. I'm probably going to come out with another poetry book this year. I just haven't really put anything into it. 37. Okay, cool. 37. Oh my gosh, this poem. I wrote this poem several years back. I wrote this poem before I even knew I was going to put out this poetry book. Because this whole thing was like a project where one summer I just wrote a bunch of poetry. All right, I'll do 37, I'll do 24, and I'll do one more. So I'm gonna throw out one more number. Oh my God, the poem on 37, y'all are gonna like see some like y'all gonna see some interesting sides to me. So we got 37, 24, and what else? One more number. 45. It's 40. Okay. All right, cool. We'll do those. But before we do those, I'm going to refill my drink. And I'm going to turn up the music so y'all can dance. But we'll read some poetry when I get back. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, just basic stuff, it doesn't have to necessarily be astrology or tarot related. You can just ask me like random questions, you know. Like I said, though, if you do want to ask me about astrology stuff, especially when it comes to your own chart and stuff, I'll answer some questions. Just don't get too detailed because this isn't really the time or place for that. It's like that whole scene when you're trying to ride your bike indoors in the Pokemon games, and Professor Oak's voice is echoing in your consciousness. Now's not the time for that. So, you know, I'm trying to be funny. I don't know if any of you guys will get the reference, but in any event, for this music. Anyways, I'm such a dork, but I don't care. I don't care. I'll be back. You saw how I changed the vibe up real quick? I had to get some other music on for reading poetry. If you would like to purchase this book, it's actually on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Like I said, I'm going to be making more of these. This poetry book, it's not a very big poetry book. It has like, well, it probably has about 30 or so poems in it. The next one I put out, I want to do like 50 probably. Maybe even throw a short story in there. Like maybe start off with the short story and end with the short story as well for my next one. But I'm definitely I want to do at least one a year, at least. But did I do one? I know I did. I'm trying to remember when I did this. Yeah, I published this one last year. It was last January. Right at the beginning of 2018, I published this one. So based off of that, I'm slacking, but you know, it is what it is. But I'm excited though. I'm compiling some poetry right now. Poetry is one of my biggest loves. It really is. Like it really is. So I may even like do like some videos where I read my poetry. A lot of times, the way I process these energies is through poetry. Especially like early, and it happens like in like the randomest times, I really like can't really do anything about it. Like something just strikes, and I'm just like I have to honor it. So I'm like, all right, we're doing this. A lot of times it happens in the morning. Those are usually the best times because I feel like I'm the most clear. But in any event, create an oracle deck with poems. Yo, that'll be good. Time for a zodiac rap. I actually will read one more poem in here that is actually titled "Meant to Be Rapped" because it's actually a rap that I wrote to a it's like a what is it? It's like a future-based song. It's like an electronic song. But anyways, so the poem that's on page 37. We're gonna read that one first. The title of this poem is Therapeutic Poetry. There you go. It's actually the title of the book. So, Aang Wu-Tang, you get like brownie points for picking the poem that this book is named after. So, we're reading Therapeutic Poetry first. Therapeutic Poetry. My mother warned me about this energy inside I inherited. And I know her warning is not unwarranted, for I have felt the cage rupture from time to time, and although I feel the bar with time and maturation, the beast grows simultaneously. For how can people understand what it's like to suddenly be engulfed like a hungry virus consuming one from the inside out? Eyes like hot, cold crimson coals, sharp teeth and claws thrashing against the now dilapidated steel. The waters were calm, like the gentle stream. Toss a stone down the current, and it will eventually encounter the raging flow of the river, preparing to careen over the edge. And if that stone be lucky to make it over the horizon before falling to certain doom, the waters will calm again. But how long before it is back at the top? How long can this beast be held back? I have seen it grow and evolve, endure and be patient for the time. My heart goes from 1 to 100 as quickly as light illuminates a room. That sort of power, one I wish not to have, one I wish to quell and conquer. But how can I when it finds new ways to break the barriers placed on it? And though the stream grows longer, the drop becomes higher, and enough is enough. I thought I could maybe face this alone. But perhaps I should look to the spirit who dwells in the back of my head and ask, why does such a creature exist within me? I think I already know this answer, but how do you tell a human to not be human and to not feel human? Rage does not compromise every cell I know, but in those moments I cannot distinguish black from white. If rage is the ink, then I, instead of spilling my own blood energy, will transform it into words such as these. Therapeutic poetry. I love that poem. I wrote that poem on break at work because I was pissed. Because I think the shift going into that break was like an intense shift at work, and I was just pissed. And I wanted to write this poem all day long. Like, I don't know why. I guess just from the moment that I got there, I wasn't in a great mood. And I was like, I need to write. And I couldn't because I was at work and I was pissed. And then I finally got the chance to write that poem, Therapeutic Poetry. And that's what happened. As far as the beast that dwells within me, I wrote another poem about that beast in particular. I haven't really mentioned it on this channel too much. Honestly, I'm about to make a special video for that because that's like some like deeper spiritual information that I don't have an issue with talking about, but this I also feel like this isn't necessarily the time and place to talk about that. It's not bad at all. It's just a whole spiritual evolution and process that I've gone over the course of my life and how this energy within me has evolved over time. So it's interesting because like I'm not gonna say I don't consciously engage with it because I do, but I don't necessarily go to that place too much anymore. But I still get energy and I still get feedback and I still get assistance But like I said, that's a whole nother video, honestly, about that, you know, that being and stuff like that, aspect of my soul. But that was Therapeutic Poetry, the poem that was on page 37. We'll do the poem on page 24. I haven't even looked at it to see which one it was. Oh man, this is a long poem, but it's okay. This poem is actually based off of a album by The Script. It's one of my favorite bands, and this was off of their third album. Was it the third album or this? Yeah, it's the third album this was based off of. By The Script. Love that band so much. And this is actually a poem based off of that. So look at that 1 second. All right. Title of this poem is called Days. And if you know The Script, you'll probably be able to see where I actually put the title of the songs in here. So, Days. Not only is this based off of, I used the titles of those songs in that album in this poem, but this is also based off of the 5 days that me and my fiance separated. But this was before she was my fiance, but this is based off of when we broke up. So, silence in those 5 days brought up tear-jerking memories of the good old days when we could still make each other smile. Now I hope we look back when we age and we feel the same, but together. In those 5 days, it didn't matter, and nothing seemed to work. Overthinking, aimless wondering took a toll on my heart. I still feel to this day those 6 degrees tore through a possible dream, but still today a reality. It is. In those 5 days, could not foresee the hall of fame of our choices together. The good, the bad, the better. I still hope we will walk through those halls together someday. In those 5 days, multiple timelines collide. A path could have been taken, could have been looked back and wondered why the good one got away. If you could see me now, what would you say? And yet we still remain. In those 5 days, my world flipped on a dime. A glowing light faded away into the unknown. As I find it today, the glowing is still unknown, but we still made it to now with all of our passion and hurt intact, hopefully stronger for it. In those 5 days, you couldn't ask me to give the love around, for I felt it had eluded me again. Dumbfounded at the times, a heart crushed yet repaired by faith, still moving forward. In those 5 days, I held the broken arrow in my hands, tears crashing to the heated floor, walking on hot coals to reignite something I thought was lost. Maybe the arrow wasn't broken. In those 5 days, your gaze escaped mine, from which I could feel the deep intensities, the kaleidoscope of colors and patterns, reflections of me and you forever reverberating in and out. What a beautiful tune to still dance to. In those 5 days, no words could bring you back. And yet that sentiment, those no words brought you back. And I said those no words on that one day. You remember, right? In those 5 days, I could have struck gold, a millionaire overnight, and would not have mattered. Maybe an anesthesia for a moment, but if no one to share it with, I'd rather build that legacy with you anyways. In those 5 days, who is writing the script anyways? Do we? Do I? Have you? Or are we doing our best we can with this thing called love? Comes with no manual, just some foolish ones looking to become one. A beautiful way it seems. In those 5 days, all was lost and gained. So let's keep smiling, for we can still share it all together. So that was based off of the breakup with my fiance. That was in the, I want to say the second going into third year of our relationship, or maybe in the third year of our relationship. But that's what that was based off of. And I took literally titles from songs by the script in that album, which I'm trying to remember what the name of the album was. It might have been Good Old Days. I can't remember if that was the name of the album, honestly, but it was their third album. It was their third studio album. Freaking love the script. I really hope to see them in concert one day. And then the last poem was page 45. Page 45 is titled Blank Pages. I don't even know where this one came from, so we'll just have to see. It's a shorter poem, though, I promise. Blank Pages. Am I running on blank pages, leaving souls in the sand only to be washed away? Not looking back, although it's tempting to look back, and it appears I may be running in place sometimes. Pleading for my legs to carry me to the next page, staring at it, though. Pleading for my legs to carry me to the next page, staring at it through the window of opportunity, which is a port or a portal. It is even in the word to put the pedal to the metal and bloom into the next stage this adventure holds for us. Am I running on blank pages, not realizing and appreciating the colors left behind? I'm not really sure where that poem came from. Thank you, Burbies. Burbies is in the building. Yeah, I need to write. I need to actually get down and actually do my next poetry book. I think at the end of this, I probably will do that last poem, but I'm probably actually going to play the song and rap it to the song. So it's going to sound crappy and not like professionally done, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Came from the heart. Thank you, Ang. Yes, all of my poetry does come from the heart. It's really fun for me. It's something that I always go back to. So, but yeah, that's some of my poetry. Thank you. But yeah, Therapeutic Poetry. That novel, that book is available on Amazon, and the next poetry book probably, I don't know. It didn't take me that long to actually compile the poetry and put it together and actually get on Amazon. And actually, what the interesting thing about it too is also the cover for this is a painting that I did. It's actually over here. Yeah, here's the cover for that actually. Yeah, the cover for, yeah. So plan on doing the same thing for the next one. Not sure which one's going to go on it. Probably, honestly, a painting I haven't even done yet. So, but yeah. Your boy's a hopeless romantic. And it worked. It actually worked somehow. Oh boy. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna take it off the guitar music and go back to some like more music. But yeah. Okay, let's see what we got here. This just says royalty-free EDM DJ, so we'll just do this. If it'll play. Oh no, it's not playing. Oh no, this is so awkward. It doesn't have to be awkward. Why aren't you playing? Here, I have a solution. But thank you all for joining me. So we're just hanging out, chilling, not really doing too much and stuff. But hope your weekend's going well so far. There we go. The title of this, or at least on here on Spotify, it says forward-thinking electro melodic, which just sounds cool, right? So, Mercury right now, as we speak, is at 10 degrees of Taurus, probably just moved to 10 degrees. And the sun is officially at 21 degrees of Taurus as well. So let's actually read 10 degrees of Taurus. That's where Mercury is right now. Let's go ahead and read it just because. Why not, right? So I'm going to, of course, be reading from one of my favorite resources, which is Inside the Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. This is an incredible resource. You can actually access this for free online. It's like if you just type it Inside the Degrees, Elias Lonsdale, that's his name. Like, what was it? Yeah, if you actually type it in, you can actually access it online for free. There's a website that actually has everything there. I bought it just because I want to support, and this is such a great resource. I just wanted to have it as a physical copy. But let's read. Is 10 degrees of Taurus, right? Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, 10 degrees of Taurus. That's where Mercury is right now. So let's read that. See what's going on. Right? Funny, huh? All right. It reads, a man exhaling clouds of iridescent smoke. I want what he's smoking. Having something to say, a lot to show for your efforts, bringing through archetypal realizations and giving yourself over to all that this involves. The perfect instrument for playing for something new to be revealed. Selfless service obedient to the gods. Played through by visions, pictures, images, impressions that gather to form breathtaking wholes. Someone who has worked upon this faculty for a long time and now is quintessentially ripe. You feel the tremendous surging momentum to say it, name it, evoke the spirit, what needs to be seen. When dazzling gifts are in the works, the destiny is already written in the book of life. It is simply a matter of getting out of the way, paying attention, becoming exceedingly disciplined, and then gathering a fresh synthesis for the many to recognize themselves reflected with transparent, evocative accuracy, a perfect portraiture, direct from the nature's workshop, cooked up for the occasion. Damn, that's like, I'm just feeling like this, like exuding authenticity. That's really what that speaks to me. It's like something that you've been working on for such a long time, and just exuding authenticity, and just like really this whole energy of just really becoming like selfless. And really it's just kind of, it's interesting because, you know, we still have some Aries energy, right? We still have Chiron there, we still have Venus there, but Venus is going to be moving into Taurus soon, which I'm really happy about. Excuse me. But like this selflessness where it's like we've been working at this thing, and we've been working on ourselves through our peaks and our, you know, our troughs, through our victories, through our defeats, and just realizing that we may not be perfect, but so long as we keep moving forward and we just radiate this love and keep this hope alive, and just honestly just do what we came here to do, and just express that just clear as day with like unbridled authenticity. It's just like the future is yours, beloved. That's really what I'm saying. It's like the future is yours, beloved. That's where Mercury is right now. And the Mercury course is talking about our thought process, the mind, and even our local communities and stuff like that. And this is about like, you know, this is a time where, especially within our local communities, it's time to really rally together. We can be focused on, oh my gosh, especially here lately. I live in Georgia, so I don't want to really get into this topic too much, but we just recently, well, not we, because I didn't want to pass it. I know a lot of people didn't want to pass it, but a very controversial bill was just passed in Georgia, and it has everyone like up in arms. If you've been paying attention to anything in the media or news, you know about this. I really don't want to talk about this on this channel right now. I really don't. I might make a special video for it. But anyways, this is a time where like our community, like transparency within our community is really starting to come through, and really transparency in what our communities value, because Mercury and Taurus is the value of our communities and our close neighborhoods too. And first of all, we have to first address the value. Mercury had 10 degrees. So what's interesting is that usually the first 10 degrees of a sign are more of the personal degrees of the sign. Then you get to like the second 10 degrees, which is more of like close friends, family, colleagues. And then the last 10 degrees is really more on the worldly stage. So with Mercury here at 10 degrees, we're starting to shift into more of the friends and family and colleagues aspect of this Taurian energy when it comes to the mind and thinking and communication, our values. So we just spent, the last several days, I think Mercury went there, it was about 5 days ago. So the first 5 days of this, we spent really focusing on the neighborhood and community of our bodies and learning more about the values of our bodies, stuff like that. Now it's going to start to shift a little bit, but transparency, and those what was cool about it, what I liked about it was also, I liked the descriptions, but I also like, the headlines too. The headlines kind of tell you a good bit about it, and I think those are good too. A man exhaling clouds of iridescent smoke. Like it first of all, it sounds fucking cool. I kind of want what he's smoking, but it's like this, like really this unbridled authenticity to really show all of our true colors, and the people that accept you for who you are unconditionally will accept you, and that's something that should be really deeply appreciated. And even if people don't necessarily accept you, or people don't necessarily agree with you, does that mean that you can't agree with them? I hate this whole notion that just because you don't have necessarily the same set of values as another person, that you can't at least have a conversation with them without going at each other's throats, which is funny because Taurus rules the throat. But it's like you can disagree with someone based off of like values, whether it's political or whatever like that, and still have like a meal with them and laugh about stuff and just, still, have a good time, do good work together. You know what I mean? That's why I think a lot of times they say that like humanity won't unite unless we have a common enemy and stuff like that. Alien invasion. It's already happened, and we still haven't united. So just letting you know. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of where our mind is right now, and it's all good. It's all good. For me, I feel like I'm kind of going through this major shift where it's like I'm about to confront a lot of fears right now that I've had over the past couple years. I'm about to confront them. I'm already confronting them now, but I'm like really about to confront them in the next couple of weeks. Confront some fears of mine, like a lot of fears of mine. And it's just like I'm sitting here like I'm like sitting in the barracks like and I've already made the decision I can't really go back. Like I technically can go back, but it's like it's not that I wouldn't forgive myself if I didn't go through with it. I just felt like it would take me a long time. And I felt like just getting to this point is already me forgiving myself. Because I feel like this is something I should have done a while ago. But things happen in divine timing. I'm exactly where I need to be at this given time. And, even though I don't necessarily get it, I accept it. I'm okay with it, but it is a time of moving forward. Even when you have retrograde planets, guys, don't get it twisted. You can still move forward. You can still make changes in your life. You can still do something different. You can still make a change. Just because the planet is in retrograde. That's why it's called a review period. So this is actually the best time to start to make changes. For me, a lot of this makes sense because Pluto and Saturn in the South Node are in my second house. So it's like, and Jupiter's in my first house. So it's like my ego's getting hit. My ego's getting hit, and my sense of value and self-worth is getting hit at the same time. So it's like it's like, you know, I kind of had to go for it, you know. Yeah, and just like, but I think it comes from a good place. Retrograde equals internal clearing. Yes. When planets go retrograde, it's like the energies turn inward. That is definitely true. So right now, let's see, Jupiter is retrograde. Jupiter is about expansion, good luck, fortune. And it's in the sign of Jupiter, its home sign. So we all just like expanded. We just expanded so far out. And now that's going retrograde. It's like now we're like exploring. We didn't even have time to like appreciate all of the new territory that we expanded into with Jupiter. Now that Jupiter is retrograde, we're getting time to like, oh, so this tree goes here, that kind of creature lives here. Oh, that's what's going on over here. Now we're getting time to actually really explore on a deeper level all of this territory that we just expanded into with Jupiter, right? That's Jupiter, you know. Of course, we could talk about Saturn and Pluto. That's honestly a video in and of itself. I'm probably going to end up making videos on the retrograde planets and stuff, but what's nice though is that we don't get our next retrograde planet for, let's see, hold on. So let me go back a little bit. So the last planet that we had to go retrograde was Saturn, which was April 29th. April 29th, which actually I think that's actually the day of my niece's birthday, and interesting enough. Anyway, Saturn went retrograde on April 29th. We don't get the next retrograde planet until I believe June, which is nice actually. We get a little bit of a break. But yeah, we get Neptune retrograde June 21st, which is really funny because that's the day of the solstice when the sun ingresses from Gemini into Cancer. Literally, when Neptune goes retrograde, like the minute it goes retrograde, the sun will be at 29 degrees of Gemini in 57 solar minutes, which means that literally it will go into Cancer within the next hour after that. But that's not until June 21st. So we still got some time. We pretty much, like I said, we have like pretty much almost 2 months between these retrograding energies. That's what's kind of nice about this. Is like we have these 3 planets that are retrograde right now, but we're getting some time to kind of like catch ourselves and to like kind of like gather our bearings and kind of even like learn from some of these missteps that aren't really actually missteps, process them, begin to work on them before Neptune goes retrograde. Neptune retrograde is fun just because like things get trippier than they already are. So it's like Neptune retrograde is like, you know, it's everything's turned internal. So it's like, you know, in my opinion, probably not the best time to do like more hardcore drugs like, you know, DMT or, you know, LSD, or maybe even the best time, just because you're already going through that review period, so you know it's going to be like pretty intense and very magical and very beautiful and healing. But it's like if you're not prepared for it, Neptune retrograde can fuck you up. But we've been getting Neptune retrograde in Pisces for a while because Neptune is such a slow-moving planet. But yeah, we'll get Neptune retrograde June 21st, and then after that, we'll get, what's the next retrograde planet after that? We got a good, well, Mercury will go retrograde again. Mercury will actually go retrograde in Leo about a little over 2 weeks later in Leo, it'll go retrograde. So that's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be very interesting. But in any event, yes, this is a very powerful time for transformation, for shifts. This is the time where you really want to take risk, actually. It's like retrograde periods are a moment where it's like you really, because essentially what's happening with retrograde planets is that no more karma as far as that energy as it relates to that planet is being built because it's going backwards, perceivably from our, our perspective. So it's like no more karma when it comes to Pluto and Capricorn right now is being built or created. No more karma is being built or created when it comes from Saturn and Capricorn. No more karma is being built or created when it comes from Jupiter being in Saturn. Everything's going backwards. So now we're processing. We're going over this internal clearing, as B the Infinity said. So it's like this is actually a time where it's like it's actually a good time to take risks, to actually jump at something, to make a change, to do something different, to go through this clearing. This is the time that's right for it. When all planets are moving forward, it's cool. You get, in many ways, kind of like the unfiltered energy of that sign. It can be very intense because I like to think of all planets forward as a hyperspace jump. You've seen it in like Star Wars, or I guess it probably happens in Star Trek too, where they you see like they go into that hyperspace jump and all the stars just look like lines going past them. That's all planets going forward. And this recent hyperspace jump that we had recently was a long hyperspace jump. It was a long one when all the planets went direct back in early January. It was a long one because it went pretty much all January. It went pretty much all of February. It went through like half of March. Mercury went retrograde. Then it came direct, and we went through another mini hyperspace jump. So it was weird because usually there isn't that much time between Mercury going direct and another planet coming retrograde. Usually there's overlap. Yeah, and you're right. We flew. We rocketed forward. So if you are feeling delirious still, if you're still feeling like you're trying to catch your breath, that's okay. Like, don't feel bad about it, beloved. Like, we just went through an immense, intense shift. And you're not expected to know everything right now, to have everything together right now, to have all your shit together. Like, you're not expected to do that. I'm saying when you go through hyperspace jumps, you shit your pants. Like, like you don't have time to go to the bathroom. I was like, you shit your pants. Like, for real. But it's okay. We all shit our pants, guys. It's okay. It was a big transformation. We're moving forward. I still really do feel that, like, especially compared to like the last 2 years, that 2019 is really a very powerful year for moving forward, for transforming, of great things happening. A lot of intense energy still, but if you believe in yourself, you rise to the occasion, you will find that coming into these 2020s, oh my goodness, guys, like, we are here in many ways at the end of a decade, right? 2019. This is a huge moment. Not only that, but we're in the year of the pig in Chinese astrology in the zodiac, and that's the last sign of the Chinese zodiac. So we're about to go through multiple like restarts. So this is like this is kind of like a final exam kind of year. But from what I recall from high school especially, is that my senior year was a very, very fun year. They have all kinds of events planned for you. Yeah, you're busy. There's a lot of things to do. But it was a fun-ass year. It was really fun. And honestly, I did very well my senior year as far as my grades went. So I think it's just that whole act of graduation that's scary, because we're pretty much graduating. Like, this is like a graduation kind of year. Once we get into 2020, once we hit that Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, oh my gosh, like, you already know all the astrologers are going to be talking about that. That event alone is going to convert a lot of people into believing in astrology. They might not necessarily like watch videos all the time or like follow it like super religiously or whatever like that. I don't even want to use that word, but I feel like that event alone is going to at least definitely just like really push like the curiosity for astrology. Pluto and Saturn conjunction in Capricorn is people are going to be like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I really do feel that. And then once, of course, Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's like game over. But yeah. Anyways. Oh boy. Yo, what do y'all want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm just going to be kind of bringing up random things to talk about. Okay, has anyone seen the new Avengers movie? I admittedly have not seen it. I haven't even seen Infinity War yet. So some of y'all might think that's blasphemous. I have reasons for why I haven't been watching a lot of the superhero movies lately. Has anybody watched Endgame? Is it like really like that good? Be the Infinity. Okay, nope. All right, so I know I'm not alone. Like I said, I haven't even seen Infinity War yet, so it's like I'm going to watch them. But for me, the reason why I haven't been watching them is because I feel very uninspired by them. It's the same story a lot of times, and not like I guess this happens when you're getting to the end of a franchise and things need to be reborn. And I guess they're going to try and rebirth the franchise after this Endgame movie, but it's just like I just feel like the superhero genre needs a major, serious overhaul. Okay, so you're over it, Be the Infinity? Yeah, I don't like. I'm excited for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That's what I'm excited for. And I saw that they're going to potentially make a live action Zelda movie, which I'm like, hell yeah, I'm all game for that. But it's like, I'm ready for the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. That's what I'm more excited about. So I can have it, so we can get like a Super Smash Brothers movie. But I'm not gonna probably watch the Pokemon Detective movie until next week, whatever. But yeah, as far as Marvel and all that sort of stuff, I'm just like, I'm not inspired by it. And I see so many people talking about it, and I'm sure they're good movies. I'm sure they're good movies, but I'm just like, that's me, man. Like seriously, they're not hitting me, man. They're just not. Uh, they're remaking Final Fantasy VII. Ooh, that'll be good. See, that's something I'll be excited for. I want a Spyro the Dragon movie, and not in the style of this new Skylanders bullshit, but like I'm talking like the old Spyro the Dragon. That's what I want. I want a movie like that. So I grew up on Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, remaking Final Fantasy VII would be dope. I would be so excited for that. But yeah, I did see an article about them doing a potential Zelda live action movie, which would be awesome. Um, See, it'd be kind of cool if Nintendo started doing things, because then they can do F-Zero, because then you'll get Captain Falcon. They could do Donkey Kong, which would be probably more on the comedy side, I guess. I don't know. Mario live action, I know. I feel like I'm sure they've done it, and it's probably been done well with the resources at the time. It could only be what it is, I guess. It'd be interesting to see what they do now with it if they did something. I think a live action, and I never really played the Metroid games, but I think a live action Metroid movie would be legit. I think that would be really fucking cool. I would watch that in a heartbeat, definitely. But yeah, Marvel, I don't really care. Like, I don't know, man. I saw the first Avengers movie. Good. I think I saw the second one. It's okay. I mean, I've seen a lot of the old ones. Like, I've seen Iron Man. I've seen some of them. I just haven't seen a lot of them. But just, I don't know. They're not getting me, man. I don't know what it is. I know they made a Teen Titans show, and I haven't bothered watching it because I know I'll be disappointed because I love Teen Titans. And they have that Teen Titans Go show now on Cartoon Network, which it's not bad. You just have to. I don't watch it, but the one that I've watched, it's not bad. You just have to realize that it's not the original Teen Titans. It's pretty much a whole separate genre, honestly. But the original Teen Titans cartoon was probably one of my favorite shows of all time. So fucking good. I could talk about shows and anime and stuff like that all day long. Right now, I'm rewatching Code Geass because they put it on Netflix. And, I'm like just like marathoning it. It's so great. They need to develop some of the side characters more. Nightcrawler, Gambit, and Rogue. Yes, I agree. Gambit was one of my favorite characters, especially in like the Marvel vs. Capcom video games. I loved using Gambit. I think he appeared in a movie briefly, like a few years back, but not really. Nightcrawler's cool. Rogue is really cool. Like I remember, like the X-Men cartoon that was out in like the early 2000s. That was really cool. I still remember like the theme song. Like I'm hearing it in my head right now. But yeah, you're right, Hank. It's not the same. I'm not sure necessarily what you're referring to. I'm not sure if you're referring to just the Marvel movies in general or the Teen Titans thing. The Teen Titans thing for sure. Teen Titans Go and like the regular Teen Titans cartoon are not the same. Like you have to like literally, you can't go into Teen Titans Go thinking that it's gonna match Teen Titans. Like you can't. You're gonna set stuff up for failure. I've seen a couple episodes that were good. I remember the one episode where Beast Boy was teaching Robin how to relax. I thought that was a really funny episode. And then they actually make what I'm upset about Teen Titans Go is that they make more allusions to Beast Boy and Raven having a relationship than the actual like show did. They make more allusions to it, which is actually canon. I think in the actual comics, Beast Boy and Raven did have a thing. Beast Boy and Terra also had a thing in the comics, like in the actual comics. And I never actually really got into like actual comic books, but I looked it up, and Beast Boy and Raven actually is a thing. I know Robin and Starfire is actually a thing. But yeah, and then of course Cyborg is just cool as fuck. Cyborg is just freaking amazing. I think he ended up being one of like the big people in the Justice League and stuff like that. Young Justice is actually kind of a cool show. It's kind of has a somewhat of a similar vibe to Teen Titans, but it's a little bit more serious. And Teen Titans has a little bit more of the anime kind of animations and style and art, whatever like that, and moments and stuff. Young Justice is a little bit more serious, but Young Justice is actually pretty cool. I definitely like Young Justice. But yeah, I could talk about cartoons all day long. So let me ask you guys, were you guys Nickelodeon cartoons. I watched them all, but like, what was your favorite? Nickelodeon cartoons, Disney cartoons, or Cartoon Network cartoons? And when I'm saying cartoons, I'm talking about like late 90s into early 2000s, like the good shit. Like some of the newer age shit was okay. PBS, honestly, it's hard to fuck with PBS. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. Arthur is the shit. Clifford is the shit. You can't even front. You're right. Be the infinity. PBS was amazing. I used to watch Clifford, like the Big Red Dog, all the time. I had some of the books. Arthur was awesome. Don't even front. I remember when I was watching Arthur before I hit third grade, and I was like excited. I was like, I can't wait till I hit third grade so I could be in the same grade as Arthur. And then like I shot past him so fast, and I'm like, dude, Wishbone. I remember Wishbone, of course, Sesame Street. Sesame Street's okay. It's kind of. I watched a movie within like the past year, actually, with my niece actually. With like Big Bird or something like that, and he got like kidnapped or whatever like that and stuff. It was kind of interesting. Kind of weird, but it was interesting. But yeah, Wishbone, Sesame Street. I can't remember if that one show made it on PBS. What was it called? Like it wasn't cyberspace. It was like those kids that went into cyberspace and they had like that little purple bird thingy with them. I can't remember if that ever made it on the PBS. I think it made it on the PBS. Dude, Magic School Bus is the shit. Like, we could talk about that. Dude, I went back and watched an episode of the Magic School Bus like last year, and I was like, dude, I forgot how savage this show is. And I don't think anybody knows what's going on with that show. That show is legitimately creepy. That show is legitimately creepy. Like, it was one of those shows that's like, I mean, you watched it, but you just don't know what's going on in that show. Teletubbies is legitimately creepy as fuck. Whoever came up with that, like, they were on crack. I don't know. Magic School Bus is the shit. I love Magic School Bus. And they remade it too, which is kind of cool. I actually went back and watched one of the newer episodes. It's okay. It's all right. Golly, Teletubbies was weird as shit. That was a weird ass show. Oh my gosh. That was a weird ass fucking show. What the fuck was going on? They got one thing right with the baby being the son. They got that right, the divine child. They got that part right, but everything else was just kind of weird. Like they lived in like these like weird little like they lived in the hills, which people did live in hills. You know, they did carve out things in the hills. Giant baby head in the sky. Yeah, they actually got that part right as far as like, you know, the son, Leo, the divine child, you know, children are close to God and stuff like that. They got that part right. Still creepy as fuck. I don't know what the fuck they were wearing. I guess that was their fur. And then they had that weird little, they would eat those weird little pudding cookies, and then like that little vacuum cleaner thing would suck up things that they made dirty. Anyways, that show was weird. Show was out there. So weird. Like what the fuck? But dude, you can still like just bust out singing Arthur and people will actually join you in singing Arthur. Like that's how cool that show is. Plus, he's a meme now. So like like anything, Arthur's an actual meme now on the internet. So it's like DW was first of all probably one of the most savage characters in television history. DW is so fucking savage. I still feel really bad for her when she made it was the episode where she wanted to preserve the snowball that she made and it melted. I still get feels from that episode. I still get feels from that episode when she tried to save the snowball. But DW is one of the most savage characters in like television history. Like seriously. Oh, what are some other good shows? What are some other good shows? Some other shows. Well, I mean, like I said, I could talk about Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and stuff like that all day long. I love cartoon. I love them all, really. Disney's Channel has some good shows. Um, I remember when cartoons began to kind of shift into like the new age. That was like Phineas and Ferb was when they started to shift into like kind of like the newer age cartoons, which Phineas and Ferb was actually good. It just kind of got repetitive at one point. Recess was a good show. Yeah, Recess was a good show. I really enjoyed that one as well. Um, yeah, Recess. Uh, as far as Nickelodeon, I was a huge fan of Rocket Power. Loved Rocket Power so much. I haven't done half of those events. I still want to snowboard. I still want to do some of that stuff. But Rocket Power was amazing. Let's see what else. Cat Dog was kind of weird. I liked Cat Dog, but it was kind of a weird show. Hey Arnold was good. Hey Arnold was actually pretty. It was a pretty damn cool show. Um, One show I didn't really get into. I watched it, but I didn't really get into it. Was As Told by Ginger. It was kind of a weird show. I think it was the animation. It was just weird as fuck. And then you had that poor dude that like loved Ginger, and then like when he got his braces off, she finally began to notice him. But then he was like flirting with all the other girls. The Wild Thornberries, I didn't like that show. I don't know why I didn't like that show. I think I was creeped out by it, to be honest. But yeah. And then of course you have Rugrats. Rugrats is great. Gotta love Rugrats. Gotta love Rugrats. But I think ultimately, I was probably more Cartoon Network because you had Powerpuff Girls, you had Ed and Eddie, you had Powerpuff Girls. I said Ed and Eddie, you had Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog, which was one of my favorite shows, but damn, that show was creepy. Courage the Cowardly Dog was a scary ass show as a kid, dude. Like watching that like at night, I was like, oh no, man, I gotta watch something afterwards, otherwise I'm gonna have like bad dreams. Courage the Cowardly Dog was my shit. Codename Kids Next Door was like my dream. That was like I wanted that. The amount of organization that those kids had in that show in Kids Next Door, and how they tried to like pretty much resist growing up and fight the adults. Like I still kind of like live for that. That was a good show. But yeah, and I miss those days. I know they still play those every now and again. They sort of come out with like some of the newer school ones. Camp Lazlo was okay for a while. My gym partner's a monkey. That was okay for a while. I'm a big kid, if you couldn't tell. And then, of course, Adventure Time came out. And honestly, as far as the newer age cartoons, that really changed the fucking game. Adventure Time was great. It really was. I actually haven't finished it, but it's a great show. And then, what was the other one that dude came out with that I really liked? I can't fucking remember. Felt bad for not remembering it. It's on. Well, no, not him came out. No, it wasn't him that came out with it. But one of the newer cartoons that's out is Steven Universe. I fucking love that show. I freaking love that show. It was weird because I actually have a coworker that really doesn't like that show. I guess because all of the gyms are female, and like I don't know, it does talk a lot more about that sort of energy, female power, female energy, the strength of the divine feminine, and how Steven himself is a little bit more of a compassionate male figure, whatever like that, but still stands up when he has to. I love that show. I think it's great. Plus, I think it actually made history for showing in, I think, animation, the first lesbian wedding in a cartoon. Like, it made history for that. I don't think they've come out with the next season for it yet, probably because of money issues and all this other bullshit. Um, but probably one of my favorite cartoons of all time is Tom and Jerry. You can't make shows like Tom and Jerry anymore. That old school violence of running around in the yard and stepping on a rake and it hitting you in the face, or a shovel, or like walking and like you'll just be walking and suddenly an anvil falls on you. You can't make cartoons like that anymore. Cartoon Network is the shit. It really is. Tom and Jerry was amazing. I love Tom and Jerry. And you can't make stuff like that anymore. You really can't. It kind of sucks, you know. Like South Park is still coming out with episodes, but you can't make a show like Tom and Jerry anymore. It's weird. It's very weird. All facts. Yes, thank you. I'm glad somebody agrees. We could talk about, let's talk about Disney movies actually. I think Disney movies would be kind of fun to talk about. I'm gonna go fill up my cup and I'll be right back. But if you have some Disney movies that y'all want to talk about, throw them out in the comments. When I come back, we'll talk about it, and then we'll just kind of chill. And we'll probably go for like another, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, maybe an hour. We'll see how long this goes. I just wanted to come on here and chill with you all. It's technically kind of like the last day of my vacation. I go back to work tomorrow, but really, I do this in appreciation for you all to just share this space with me. I really do appreciate it. I love making videos and putting them out for you all. And, you know, sometimes I guess I doubt myself as far as like where this is all going, but I'm just excited to see where it will go. I'm just happy to be along this ride, and I'm happy that you all want to share this space with me. But in any event, let me go get something else. We'll talk about Disney movies. I'll tell you about some of my favorite Disney movies. And yeah. But until then, enjoy some tunes. Let's see. My consciousness is so expanded. I've absorbed so much information these 60 years. Gonna need more space in my brain soon. I think a lot of us are getting overloaded. I mean, I can share that sentiment. There's been so much that's been happening, and so much is going to continue to happen. I don't think all of this energy will be coming into this world as such an influx if we couldn't handle it. At the very least, if we couldn't support each other through it, I don't think we would be put through anything that we weren't ready for. Even if it presents a bit of a challenge, there's been so much that's been coming through. Um, I definitely feel that. You know, it's crazy. You know, all this information that's been coming through. Um, Especially for those people, and I don't even like want to be this person necessarily, but for those of the Pluto and nice, the Pluto and Scorpio generation who've been having to transform a lot of this energy. Oh my goodness, like just think about what happens when these Pluto and Cap kids grow up. They're gonna have to create the new world. They're gonna have to create the new world. Like these Pluto and Cap kids, when they grow up and they start to hit their 20s and shit. Oh my goodness, they're gonna be like, wow, we have to really restructure this whole world and stuff like that. We have to put everything back together. But Pluto, in many ways, like Pluto and Scorpio, we've had to transform a lot of things, a lot of understandings about things. You know, Pluto and Libra transformed relationships. Pluto and Virgo transformed the everyday reality. Pluto and Sagittarius transformed beliefs. We can go back to, of course, yeah, Pluto and Leo transformed in ways the way we express ourselves in our heart space. And if there happens to be anyone around for Pluto and Cancer, which there probably still is, Pluto and Cancer was transforming our emotional foundation. So it's like, now that we're getting these Pluto Cap kids that, you know, they're opposing those Pluto and Cancer generation, if probably not as many of them are still around, but like, just wait till Pluto hits Aquarius. I'm like, I feel like a lot of astrologers are building it up, and I don't think it's going to disappoint. I think Pluto and Aquarius is going to be really something else. I think it's going to just be like, I don't really know what's going to happen. Like we can only, you know, guess what's going to happen, but it's like that's going to be something else, man. Pluto and Aquarius. But anyways, so question: who are your favorite Disney princesses? I think that'd be an interesting question. And just Disney movies in general. What are some of your favorite Disney princesses and Disney movies? Lion King, of course, is always going to be a favorite of mine. Aladdin. I really like Tangled, and actually, she's probably one of my favorite princesses. Probably Rapunzel and Mulan. Does Lilo count? Yes. Yes, Lilo and Stitch is a dark horse in this. Lilo and Stitch was so great. Yeah. See, you were saying you agree too. Oh my gosh, man. Lilo and Stitch, and then of course they came out with the show. Lilo and Stitch was the shit. I love that movie. That has Pluto and Aquarius written all over it, man. All over it. Don't get it twisted. When we get to Pluto and Aquarius, those of us especially who have kids with their Pluto and Aquarius, don't get it twisted. They're going to be doing stuff like that, and we're not going to know about it. They're going to be Lilo. They are going to be Lilo, and we're not going to know about what they're doing and stuff like that. Like, that's going to be their reality. And we're going to be literally those dumbfounded, like, adult figures in those cartoon shows. We're like, ooh, all right. We've been talking about this. We've been infatuated and fascinated by this stuff. Ooh, is that actually happening? Like, these guys are going to be living that life, yo. I'm telling you. Lilo is freaking awesome. I love Mulan. Mulan is great. The first movie is amazing. The second movie sucked. Don't know why they did that. But in any event, as far as like Disney princesses go, Mulan's up there. Pocahontas is up there. I love Tangled. Um, I wonder if Moana counts because that was a great movie too. Everyone loves Frozen, or at least they tried to make Frozen the Lion King of the new generation, and I kind of get it because it actually does give me Pluto and Capricorn and Saturn and Capricorn kind of vibes, whatever. The Pluto and Capricorn generation mainly. Like Frozen does give me those sort of vibes, but Frozen, I feel like they tried to like make jokes in there, and they just. It's like I feel like they tried hard. I feel like Frozen is a try hard movie. Like that's just me though. I don't know. I could be, you know, that's just like I said. That's just my opinion. Whatever I think, whatever it is. But I really love Tangled. Tangled was a great movie. I thought that she was very, very clever, Rapunzel. That was very funny. Mulan is just a great movie in general. Pocahontas is just a great movie in general. As far as the other Disney princesses, admittedly, I haven't really seen Princess and the Frog all the way through, which is kind of funny because you think that I would, and I am about to pull the race card, but she is the only black princess there, and I still haven't seen that movie all the way through. I've heard it's really good though, so I probably should give it a chance. Sleeping Beauty is obviously creepy because she got raped in her sleep. You couldn't tell that I'm a little loose at the hinges right now. I liked Belle as a kid. I always wanted a library like hers. Yeah, I liked Belle too. I thought Beauty and the Beast was cool. We had like this VHS set that had like these shorts on there. It was like 30-minute to 40-minute shorts. It was like 3 of them in a row. I liked Belle. I thought Belle was pretty cool. I felt like she was kind of she was like, kind of like the bookworm, kind of like the nerdy type that's like also just like, obviously, very beautiful, whatever like that. There's a little bit of a spice to her as well. Mary's, of course, the beast and whatever. Yeah, Belle was cool. Let's see, who else? Cinderella is just kind of a damsel in distress. And the story of Cinderella, like the original story, is kind of fucked up because if you know like the original story, her stepsister cut off her heel just to fit into the glass slipper, which is really fucked up and really fucking desperate. Yeah. What else? Snow White is an acid trip. Actually, it's probably more like a mushroom trip, right? Snow White is like really a mushroom trip. I only done mushrooms once in my life, but I feel like if I that would be a movie I would kind of want to watch on mushrooms just to see like the real messages in there of Snow White. What else? This Snow White covers Cinderella. I like Aladdin. I do like Aladdin. It's kind of like, the guy who kind of comes from nothing, street rat, is able to woo the princess, whatever like that. I do think though that Disney also needs a renaissance, and we need to shift attention to the princes. I think that needs to happen too. So, because Disney, of course, is obsessed with the princesses, right? I think we need the male counterpart next. I really do. And we need like a bunch of movies that talk about the Disney prince. I think that would be freaking cool. I could champion that myself. But anyways, yeah, I think that'd be cool if we started to get more like Disney prince movies. Started getting that aspect as well. That's something that I'm sure they talked about it. I think that would be kind of interesting if they did. Because a lot of the Disney princes, especially the early ones, are not memorable. You know, they're just not memorable. They started to try and make them memorable with the Little Mermaid and Eric. They tried to make him a little more memorable. The Little Mermaid was okay. I mean, I don't dislike it. She honestly was just a wild child. Let's be real. Ariel was just a wild ass child. And then of course, you know, her father was Neptune, so it's like that's kind of the interesting thing about it. I like Disney Pixar Studio more than standalone Disney. I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that. Pixar has done a very good job with their movies. And I love how they like to reference their other movies. They like to reference the movies in just the Pixar family in all their movies. They like make references and little what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, this is so bad that I can't find the word that I'm looking for. They kind of just put like little tokens here and there and little references to all the movies and stuff. So that's cool. I think Finding Nemo was Pixar. I love Finding Nemo. It was recently on the other day. And I remember when it first came out that they played it all the time. But I actually watched it first in theaters with my family on vacation a while back. And Finding Nemo was great. Cars was really cool. I do like Pixar. Pixar has some great movies. So I'm pretty sure Toy Story is Pixar. And I think Monsters Inc. is also Pixar, which Monster Inc. is great. And honestly, here's the thing about Monsters Incorporated. Monsters University, like, I kind of had high expectations for that movie. It blew it out of the water. Monsters Inc. was great. Monsters University was amazing. I was so surprised by that movie. Monsters University was so good. Yeah, Cars was good. The only thing about Cars is that they kept making new ones, and it kind of started to get a little bit stale. The original Cars was great, though. The original Cars was awesome. Dude, Monsters Inc. Yeah, no, Boo. They need to make a movie when Boo's older, man. They need to do it. Oh, my heart would be just like, everything would just be complete. Monsters Inc. is so good. Monster University was so good though. I think I watched that one in theaters. Monsters University surprised me. Yo, I saw Toy Story 3 in theaters too. That's the cool thing about the Toy Story series is that they're all really good. Toy Story 1 is really good. Toy Story 2 is good. Toy Story 3 is very good. I hope they don't fuck it up with Toy Story 4. I don't think they will. I just don't think it'll live up to the hype. I don't think it'll live up to the first three. But I saw Toy Story 3 in theaters with a couple of my friends, and we were probably next to the parents of the children in there, the oldest ones in the theater, and I almost cried in Toy Story 3. Like the moment when they're about to get incinerated by that furnace, I almost cried. But yeah, Toy Story 3 is good. Monsters Incorporated, I freaking love that movie so much. The fourth with the Rogue Bo Peep. I haven't seen any new trailers that they've come out. I've seen some trailers for it, obviously. I hope the fourth one is good. I really hope the fourth one is good. They need to make a third Monsters Inc. video because they need to they did Monsters Inc. Then they did Monsters University, which is like the before. They need to be on to like the after Monsters Inc. video, which when Boo's like all grown up and like she has to like help them do something. I think that'll be really cool. Yeah, Pixar is really cool. I think it'd be actually really cool to like do that sort of stuff, work for like a movie studio or like write for that sort of stuff. But you know, we'll see. There's a lot of things we want to do. It'd be cool to have something that I wrote turned into a movie. But then I also want to make music too. There's a lot of things I want to do, guys. I need to get on the ball. I need to actually do it. I need to actually like stop messing around and get busy. But I still want to have fun along the way. But yeah, hopefully Toy Story 4 is good. Did that slug get inside? How did it get inside? Wow, that's weird. I saw that slug outside yesterday. Now it's, or was it yesterday? Was it earlier today? I can't quite remember, but it's on the inside now. I don't know how it got in here. I mean, I'm not gonna fuck with it because it's a slug and they don't really bother me or anything, but I might try and get it up to go outside. Um, Interesting. I just looked over and I saw a slug just chilling on the window over there. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed listening to me rant about just random stuff, um, having fun, just hanging out. I would like to do these hangouts more often, if not every week, at least every other week. But it really, he wants your food, right? He's crawling towards my stones. I have like my stones on the windowsill over here, so he's crawling to my stones. And don't get it twisted, these things actually crawl a lot faster than we give them credit for. So, how did he get inside? I mean, he probably could just slip through pretty easily. He's moving kind of fast though. Might have to get him to go back outside. But in any event, it'd be kind of cool to do these more often. I am about to put my 2 weeks notice in at my current place of work, and then I'm going to go back to the family business. And the intention, of course, is to expand it, to do more things with it. I eventually, in the future, as I grow my channel, as I grow things, I eventually want to hold events there, different kinds of astrology events. It'd be really cool, maybe next year or the year after, to actually have like some sort of astrology conference there. I think I could actually accommodate it where I would have a panel of astrologers over the course of like maybe 2 or 3 days, and we would and people will talk about just different topics in astrology. And it's a big room, it could hold a lot of people, so it's not like it's really not that big of an issue and stuff like that. So these are just some sort of the visions that I have in going back there. So it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be a challenge, one that I am finally ready to actually take up. This mantle I'm ready to take up. I don't know if I'm gonna just completely take over the family business forever, but I feel like I just have to do something and move forward. And it's like I feel like I've been I've been feeling stuck for like the past 2 years. Um, but just doing the best I can with my given resources. Um, and of course, this channel is definitely a product of me coming out of my shell more. And I've been making YouTube videos for like probably like 4 or 5 years now, but I just have different channels and different topics I talked about. Like I remember when I lived in Colorado and I made videos about smoking weed, and like I would review different strains of weed that I would smoke and just talk about different things. Honestly, it was really fun. Not even gonna lie. But I live in a legal state, so I can't do that anymore. And honestly, I can't even smoke like I did back in Colorado because it's just not really in the cards for me right now at this point. But that's okay. It is what it is. I think the first YouTube video I made was actually for like a class project or something like that I did. But yeah, Yeah, this is very fun. I enjoy this. Well, this will become like definitely more of a common thing. It's a kind of a chilled, laid back hangout session. Talk about whatever. I'm probably going to get out of here soon, but before I do, I'm going to. I don't even have to actually look at the poem because I know it so much because it's like ingrained in me. But it's this poem in my poetry book, shameless plug, which is on Amazon to purchase if you would like to purchase it. The title of the poem is meant to be wrapped because it's meant to be, wrapped essentially. Such a clever name, Jamal. Very good. But I want to go ahead and play that for you all. If I can, once I get to it, and then we'll head out of here. And obviously, thank you so much for joining me and listening to me rant about whatever. So I'm sure. I mean, I've been playing royalty-free music, so after I play this, I'm sure I'm not. I don't really care about making like money off of this video, so I don't have a problem doing this. I just hope that you guys can also hear the sound with the lyrics. So I'm gonna turn it up a little bit and rap a little bit higher. Can someone tell me if they can hear me right now over the music? Is it too distracting? Should I lower the music right now? That'd be appreciate if someone can just let me know before I really get into this. Music is quiet. How about that? Can you still hear me? I'm probably gonna make a video about this. I think I already have, but I'm gonna just do it again live just because. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna just say it without the music, then I'm gonna play it. That's what I'm gonna do instead. All right. I'm gonna just rap it without the music, and then I'm gonna just play the song. Okay. So this might be a little awkward without the music in the background, but anyways, I'm gonna just get into it. I'm gonna play the song in my head before I go into it, though. So. I'm just sitting here, cooling it to this beat. Unnecessary voices can't take the back seat. People up in my face telling me what to do. Maybe they should seek inside and find your own truth. I'm not telling you how you should live your own life. I'm just sitting here trying to blow past my own strife. But I would recommend you chill out and meditate. That's when you'll begin to learn and appreciate why God put you on this earth, even in the first place. I don't even care about being in your rat race, just dancing here, raising my vibration. Can't you see? Pulling myself from society's conformity. This is not a sprint. Oh no, life is a marathon. Even when you think you've won, you better get your hummel on. All these people talking, but they can't hear the coming sound. Haven't you heard that what you give is coming back around? And then that's when I would go into just the freestyle version of it, but I'll go ahead and play it. I'm sorry if the quality of it's crappy, but yeah. I'm just sitting here pulling it to this beat. Unnecessary voices can't take the back seat. People up in my face telling me what to do. Maybe y'all should seek inside and find your own truth. I'm not telling you how you should live your own life. I'm just sitting here trying to blow past my own strife. But I would recommend you chill out and meditate. That's when you'll begin to learn and appreciate what God put you on this earth. Even in the first place, I don't even care about being in your rat race. Just dancing here, raising my vibration. Can't you see? Pulling myself from society's conformity. This is not a sprint, oh no, life is a marathon. Even when you think you've won, you better get your humble on. All these people talking, but they can't hear the common sound. Haven't you heard that what you give is coming back around? Now I'm just sitting here down in my subconscious from the headphone activist, chilling down in this ocean flow. Where is this gonna go? Where is this heading? I don't know. I'm gonna just keep it moving forward, radiating love every day and every moment that I can. It's okay, even when I fall down, I will get back on my feet and I'll keep on moving forward. I got my friends, my partners, my guides, my friends are here. My partner, we're all good. We're gonna keep on moving now. It's so good. I'm chilling here with sharks and all these beautiful things, squid and octopi, turtles down on this ocean floor. I'm not gonna sink, not gonna suffocate, cause I can breathe in this arena now. I'm just gonna keep this thing going. This poetry emotion is always flowing. We're always moving. Yeah. Anyways. Anyways, so yeah. Burbs? I thought I heard him knocking on the door. Appreciate the love, guys. I hope to actually flesh that out a little bit more. But the name of the song is Headphone Activist by Ocean Floors. Actually, no, it's Ocean Floors by Headphone Activist, excuse me. It doesn't have lyrics, I just wrote my own lyrics to it, so which is something I like to do. That's another thing. It's like I like astrology, I love poetry, which I find myself wanting to make music too. I like to paint. There's a lot of things I like to do, and I'm just happy I have the opportunity to express it all, to radiate that love outward. So thank you so much for listening to me, Astro Fenixx, rap. Probably sounded shitty, but I don't really care. I had fun doing it. I accidentally changed the song, and this song coming up is like, oh my gosh, this song. And I love to dance too, so I think I like to do interpretive dance too to all the music I like to listen to. But in any event, I thank you all for joining me, for watching me just be funny, do what I do, and just kind of chill with you all, kind of show you all. I mean, I'm authentic with you guys anyways, but just kind of show you all just another side of me. I can just chill and hang out. Obviously, you can tell I'm a huge freaking nerd. I like to talk about all kinds of different things. I freaking love this song. See, the funny thing about this song, I have to go back and find the video, but it's like I did a dancing meditation video to this song, and my fiance's dog or her parents' dog howled while I was making the video, and it was perfectly synchronized. So it's like whenever that point comes up in the song, I have to howl to the moon or whatever like that, like I'm a dog, whatever. it was so perfectly synchronized. I was like, I went back and watched the video, and I was like, how did that happen? That's so amazing. Anyways, you know, your boy has some bars, you know. Your boy can spit a little bit, you know. It's all good. Maybe one day, me, the Peace Dealer, and Gemini Brown can all do a track together, and Light Boss. You know, maybe the four of us one day will come together. You know, we'll do like a track all together or whatever. Oh, maybe one day. Who knows? Who knows? That'll be great. It'll be so fun. Anyways, I've rambled probably enough. I'm gonna chill the rest of this evening and do work in the morning. It's 9:18 here. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We got to get that going right now. I'll hit them up. I know the Peace Dealer and Gemini Brown are starting their new show. So it's like, I'm telling you guys, this next year is gonna be great. I'm gonna start coming out of my shell more, which is a big deal for me, being a Scorpio sun in the 12th house. So it's like, I'm gonna start coming out of my shell more, reaching out to other people more, and collaborations, and it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited. I'm just really glad to be a part of this journey with you all. But anyways, thanks so much for joining me in this. I really do appreciate it. I love you all so, so much. Radiating love to you all, and just really excited to be here. So, you know, y'all have a very blissful, blessed evening. Thank you so much, or no matter whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And just stay tuned for more great content coming your way, more videos, more fun, more radiating that love. And I'm rambling. It's okay. But y'all take care, guys. Y'all have a blissful evening. Thanks. Peace out. Y'all take care. Radiating love. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often. Ah!